I think you have to be disciplined. The more you know about your craft, the better. There are an awful lot of amazingly talented people out there. And if you truly want to have this be your life's goal, to be a performer in particular, then talent will take you to a certain degree. Certainly skill. The more skilled you are, I think the better off you are, because it means that you're adaptable. If you can adapt to any sort of situation that somebody throws at you, I can't imagine what would happen if somebody said, "Oh, wow, you'd be great for this, let me bring you into a session," but you don't read music. Well, you're at an automatic disadvantage. Because I was a classically trained pianist, I'm really good at reading the fly specs, but I'm not so good at improvising. So that's my failure. I would never be able to have somebody pull me in and say, "Hey, why don't you jam on this jazz session?" I can't do that. That's not one of my strengths. Conversely, I knew some great jazz pianists who couldn't read music. So I think the more skills that you have, the better off you are. The more different styles of music that you open yourself up to, the better off you are. A lot of it's luck, knowing people, being able to network. I go to a lot of conferences, and one of the things that comes across consistently is knowing how to properly network. And that's not necessarily to say that you bug everybody you know, but know what it is that you are wanting to accomplish. Have the materials and the skills in hand that you can say, "This is what I have to offer." And then be polite, be nice. Everybody likes to work with someone who's nice, I suppose those would be some basics. I think that's really important. It's very frightening when you start talking to people, especially young people who are in a band. And if they don't understand some of the real basics about the music business, they can get taken advantage of. They can inadvertently, especially in this day of people using samples and everything in the music, they can inadvertently incorporate something into a piece that they've written that creates so many legal problems that piece of music will never be able to be used. When I was doing music clearance, the whole idea of samples was brand new, and nobody knew what to do with it. We were like, well, you've used this recording from another piece of music, but now how do we even go about licensing it? So understanding what your obligations are in terms of what's considered original, when are you borrowing material from someone else, what are your obligations there, what kinds of potential problems is that going to cause you? I think that's important to know. And just from a business standpoint, I think it's always good to understand what the potential is for what you've created, and you're not going to know that unless you understand how the business works. There are a lot of different places that offer courses in sort of basic music rights, basic copyright. I know UCLA has a program like that as part of its extension course. I actually took it as a refresher myself, just because things changed. Music copyright laws are constantly changing, and it's good to be aware of that and keep up on it to the extent possible. As a musician, you're concentrating on your craft, not on the business part of it, but it doesn't hurt to be aware of it.